In a recent interview with a Lucasfilm spokesperson when questioned about actress Gina Carano, after discussing the High Republic timeline, Lucasfilm went on to state that they feel that they did the actual right thing with Gina Carano by letting her go from The Mandalorian, and that it was just something necessary that they had to do after what she had posted on the internet. So ever since then, a lot of fans, they've been backing away from Star Wars. They've been either canceling their subscription, or the ones that were considering signing up are no longer considering signing up for Disney+. Now, Gina Carano, alright, surprisingly, is also set to unveil new secrets of her firing this March, in mid-March specifically, to a brand new interview, of course, with a yet-to-be-announced media outlet. Additionally, on top of this, also, it's noted that Gina Carano is set to expose more of the truth about Lucasfilm, and that this time it will have to do with what Gina learned when she first got hired by Jon Favreau and met the Lucasfilm team. Gina is set to come back to expose more of the truth by the end of this month, and that also writer Leslie Headland is another Lucasfilm employee that celebrated Carano's firing. Carano is set to reveal more about Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy as a leader this April in a brand new interview that was initially planned for the end of March. Honestly, in that very long and lengthy interview with Ben Shapiro, she unveiled a lot just in that one interview, and whoever she's going on board with next month into June as well, May into June, it's going to be interesting to see who she's going to have the interview with, if it's going to be on a major news outlet on television, or if it's going to be more around the lines of something like on Spotify/YouTube, like a Joe Rogan type of thing going on. However, in a recent interview, actress Gina Carano was able to unveil more about Lucasfilm and its leadership, such as Kathleen Kennedy. It's described that at one point in time, Gina Carano went on to unveil that when she was working on the Mandalorian series, there were many times when higher-ups over at Lucasfilm, such as Kathleen Kennedy, would try to interfere with Jon Favreau's vision. In a recent interview with a Lucasfilm spokesperson when questioned about actress Gina Carano, after discussing the High Republic timeline, it's described, however, that behind the scenes, many setbacks have been put in place since Gina Carano's firing. In a recent interview with actor Hayden Christensen, however, Christensen was able to reveal some surprising aspects. Now, in a recent interview, Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy was able to respond to the Star Wars fandom, to where at one point she was able to unveil her stance on Star Wars. In a recent interview, it's described that Disney CEO Bob Chapek was able to respond to Star Wars fans about the franchise, where he states that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are two very talented individuals. It's explained that recently creator Jon Favreau took part in an interview where he was able to reveal some exciting aspects about the future of the franchise. It's described, however, that in a recent interview, Hayden Christensen was able to reveal some exciting details about his involvement with Star Wars. It's described, however, that in a recent interview, actor Mark Hamill was able to unveil some exciting aspects about the future of Star Wars between Luke Skywalker and Grogu. In a recent interview at one point in time, Dave Filoni teased that Grogu will eventually serve as a big answer to the secret of Yoda's species and exactly why Yoda's species are going to end up so special and very important in the future lore for the Star Wars universe. It's described, however, that in a recent interview with Disney CEO Bob Chapek, he was able to speak on behalf of what George Lucas had to reveal for the character of Grogu, revealing that George Lucas said that Grogu was actually made to be a character that will serve as the key to the mysterious and unknown answers. It's described that recently actress Rosario Dawson took part in an interview where she was able to reveal some exciting details of Grogu and more. It's described, however, that in a recent interview, Jon Favreau was questioned about the character of Grogu and Ahsoka Tano after Season 2's end. However, during and after the premiere for The Rise of Skywalker, many interviews were given to the creators and actors of the sequel trilogy films. However, during and after the premiere of The Rise of Skywalker, many interviews were given to the creators and actors of the sequel trilogy, including actor Adam Driver, who plays Kylo Ren in the sequels. However, during and after the premiere for The Rise of Skywalker, many interviews were given to many of the creators of the sequel trilogy, as well as many of the actors. At one point in time, Daisy Ridley was interviewed about The Rise of Skywalker, where she was questioned about Kathleen Kennedy's leadership. However, it's noted that after the premiere of The Rise of Skywalker, when many interviews were given to the creators of the sequel trilogy, as well as the actors, when Adam Driver was interviewed well after the premiere, he was questioned about Kathleen Kennedy's leadership over at Lucasfilm and her role as a producer. Now, during and after the premiere for The Rise of Skywalker, many interviews were given to the creators of the sequel trilogy as well as the actors. At one point in time, actor John Boyaga was questioned about Kathleen Kennedy's leadership and his character Finn in the film. However, it's noted that during and after the premiere of The Rise of Skywalker, many interviews were given to the creators of the film, including Chris Terrio, the co-writer of Episode 9, who worked closely with Kathleen Kennedy on set. Now, it's noted that during and after The Rise of Skywalker premiere, many interviews were given to the actors and creators of the sequel trilogy, where at one point in time, actor Harrison Ford was questioned about the sequels sometime after the premiere of Episode 9. Ford went on to reveal something involved with Kathleen Kennedy and how it was generally her idea to not include the reunion of Luke, Han, and Leia, since she felt it would have taken away the focus of the new trio, Rey, Finn, and Poe. However, during and after the premiere for The Rise of Skywalker, actor Harrison Ford got a chance to discuss everything related to Disney Star Wars and how they handled the sequel trilogy movies. Now, it's noted that at one point in time, Harrison Ford went on to admit that Disney never really knew what they were doing with the original trilogy cast, such as himself, Carrie, and Mark Hamill. However, in a recent interview, Disney CEO Bob Chapek was able to speak on behalf of George Lucas of how he felt with the return of Luke Skywalker in Mando Season 2, explaining that Lucas was very impressed with what both Favreau and Filoni, as well as Peyton, put together for Luke's surprise return, and that Lucas told Chapek that this is something that he and Jon Favreau have been talking about for almost 1 year right after the sequel movies were over.